Hello dear viewers, I'm pastsence and I've been feeling very depressive about my life as of recently. I can't drive, I'm a furry, I get harassed by a computer demon on the daily, and this is as close as I've got to a proper relationship. In times like these, the only thing you can do is drown out your sorrows. Oh my god, you can't let me have anything, can you? Picture this. Imagining a life more interesting than your current one. Why would I need to picture that when I do it on the daily? Episode is an interactive storytelling mobile game initially released on July 11, 2013. Even if you haven't played it, you've at least got to be aware of it. Either by word of mouth or those terrible advertisements back in 2020. So today I decided to play Episode and figure out just what I'm missing out on in life. Without further ado, let's go past sense and play where the hell Episode is. Upon first loading the game, I'm told to choose between two stories, one recommended and one not. Well, by all means, who would we be on this channel if we just sat here and choose what the norm does? I already live on hard mode in life with that mindset as it stands. So we choose the other story and we're given the option to design our main character. Okay, yeah, it's kinda ugly, hence why I bestowed him the name Chud Treyu. So we begin our story and find ourselves with our group of friends, including our boyfriend, who looks really awesome. Okay, I'm sorry to anyone who looks like him. I'm sure you're a great person. I'm just personally not into the whole bordering on Edgar cut thing he's got going on here. So our boyfriend, who's called Russ, asks if we're going to come to a party later, and we got our first choice of the story. Nothing really major, it's kind of just regular dialogue, but trust me when I say this game is going to start pissing you off later with the stuff it pulls with the choices. Our boyfriend leaves to use the bathroom, but then one of our friends named Melissa starts acting weirdly insinuating about her thoughts on him. This girl is deadass acting pissy because we're together and is asking for the details of our relationship. Like, is this what some people in relationships actually have to deal with? I'm sorry for you people, oh my god. Anyways, we ask our ugly boyfriend to drive us home and we meet our father named James. Our dad clearly doesn't like our boyfriend, and honestly I can't blame him when he's saying shit like this. So our chud boyfriend leaves the scene and our dad tells us that in a change of plans, it turns out we're now going to stay the month in the house along with our dad's old friend who just got out of a relationship. Chud Treyu isn't down with this though, and then our dad's husband comes into the scene. Like, why are there so many gay people in my episode story? What in the movie star planet did I just watch? Oh, okay, so now they can properly make out, I guess. What the fuck is this game? An unspecified amount of time later, we meet our dad's friend, whose name is Easton, and he looks... wow, so hot. I'm really trying to play this up, I'm sorry. So I don't really like the way he looks, but thankfully since free will is somewhat still available in these times, we're given the options to customize them into our dream man. Well, looking at the chart of men I want to f, we can clearly see that abnormality and robots are the one thing that's a common trend. Yeah, okay, so I want to fuck a robot. There's nothing wrong with that. So after lots of introspection, careful considering, thinking about how the hell I got to this point when it comes to my taste in men, I came up with this. Yeah, I gave up. His hard stare made me feel nervous. Oh! Yeah, I feel nervous too. That's one way to put it. So we're left alone with Easton and we have the most awkward conversation known to man because it's supposed to be all flustering like he's this super hot guy we don't know, but he looks like this. So Easton tells us that since we're going to be alone with him for the month, we have to listen to his rules and what he says from here on. We show him to his guest room and from the butt pet name aside, we wake up the next day and he's texting us on our phone, and we're told that apparently our relationship with Easton depends heavily on how we reply to him over text. So I sucked up to him a little and there were some vaguely flirtatious options, but I'm not that desperate in my life to be fawning over this thing, so I held off. We leave our room and run into this random person who's apparently Easton's assistant. So the assistant person is like, oh my god, you totally need to hear the story of how your dad met Easton. And you know, I'm kind of interested. Until we meet the bane of my existence. Yeah, so being a mobile game, Episode is not free from the in-game transaction hell, except it's even more egregious in this case. Going into this game, I was vaguely aware that it had elements of pay to win involved, but I didn't think it was this bad. The diamond currency in this game is actually atrocious because almost everything interesting, from clothing options to important choices and etc., are locked behind this stupid currency that takes taking forever to obtain normally. So we choose to skip our dad and Easton's super tragic backstory, which I'm not that heartbroken over considering I don't give a fuck about either of them. But you'll see later where this pay-to-win aspect of the episode genuinely starts to piss me off. We get to school and meet up with our friend from the beginning of the story, telling her about Easton staying over with us, and because Chud Treyu's standards are in hell, he tells her that he's really hot. Turns out loyalty in gay men is just as fucked here as it is in the real world too, because Chud Treyu and our evil ass friend are actually entertaining the thought of us being with Easton romantically. Wow, we have a boyfriend! I don't like the guy we're dating, don't get me wrong. I genuinely have forgotten everything about him, including his name. But goddamn, Chud Treyu, I didn't take you for an unfaithful wrench. As if shit can't get any worse, turns out Easton was behind us the whole time and heard all of that. Chud Treyu was embarrassed because of what Easton heard, and as if it can't get any worse, the girl who was making moves on our boyfriend at the beginning of the story is making her move on Easton. Damn, she's a real hoe, ain't she? Actually, I'm more concerned why this grown-ass man is sticking around a high school campus and entertaining the flirtatious remarks of this teenager he's not even aware of the age of. Alright, Easton. So that's where chapter 1 of whatever the fuck this story's called ends. I don't even want to bother scrolling up my script to look at the name because of how much I genuinely don't care. Maybe everyone else had a point to choose the other story because this one genuinely took years off of my life. I am not playing this any further. So I set out to find a replacement story and I came up with this one. The Mean Girl Challenge. Why to choose this one, you might ask? Well, disrespectfully, last story was the most mid-yaoi of my life, and this one appears to have girls as the front and center, so might as well. So we're given an option for our main character's gender, and I chose to sacrifice Fix as our main girl this time, choosing a girl as our love interest. You don't mind me doing all that, right? Yeah, okay, love you too. So we walk into school and we're given a choice of what club we want to be in. We choose the writing club, and apparently, we're kind of a big deal. Said nobody ever. We also get to choose our personality, and we say that we're benevolent and we'd never hurt a fly. Anyway, somebody drives up on a motorcycle and we meet Drew, the hottest, baddest girl at the whole school who everybody is in love with, including us. We're given the option to customize her, but I refrained from doing so because my lovely assistant kindly told me that she would prefer I don't make any more ultra tours in this video. Anyways, this glitch randomly happens where Drew experiences Drew mitosis, and we meet up with our friend named Maeve, who tells us how hot Drew was on our motorcycle. Anyways, we see Drew talking to this one girl called Faye, who she straight up rejects in front of the whole school, but Fix, being so clumsy and quirky, bumps into Drew, spilling her coffee all over her. Drew says it's fine though, and whoa, right in front of the whole school? Calm down. Okay, it's so obvious in retrospect this story is made for a straight pairing. Anyways, Drew says we owe her a coffee now and leaves the perimeter. Faye, that girl from earlier, is low-key jealous of us, however, and starts literally shit-talking us right to our face. However, we call her insecure, and apparently it's the biggest diss in the world because this nosy hoe called Corey is recording our fight, and now we're apparently in a popularity contest with this girl. Faye insults our friend, and of course we gotta stand up for her, right? Turns out no, because welcome back to in-game transaction. Hell. I love having to pussy out because I don't have enough diamonds to buy my own self-confidence. Anyway, sometime later we go home and we talk to our cat named Leon about how hot Drew was. We're allowed to customize our cat, and since I just love dragging everyone into my problems, now Attainus is joining the story. Say hi, Attainus. Anyways, we check our phone and it turns out Faye is shit-talking us on Corey's podcast, calling us an attention seeker. And now it's personal. We wake up the next day to see we've got 100 followers on Instagram. Turns out some people have been taking our side when it comes to this whole popularity contest thing with Faye, so we decide that we gotta start taking this thing seriously and dressing like we intend to win. I hope y'all are ready for the sickest fashion montage you've ever seen. With our glow-up finish, we set out to show a mean girl just who's bought. I fucking hate this game. We're really making a fashion statement by wearing the plainest outfit known to man while trying to compete with a rich girl in looks, huh? At least we get to keep our obnoxious hair. Yay. Anyways, we walk into school, but then Drew comes out of nowhere and starts pressing herself against us. What? The end. So that was chapter 1 of the Mean Girl Challenge, and honestly, I was kind of invested. Being completely honest here, I did record a playthrough of chapter 3. Or at least I thought I did, because my phone decided to sabotage me and not record any of it. I don't remember exactly what happened, but we created a posse with some guy who looked like Shao the Hedgehog, and there was more pay-to-win stuff, and that's all I remember. So that was episode, and yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't get what I basically expected out of that. The pay-to-win stuff was low-key pissing me off hard, but aside from that, it was alright. I saw those episode ads back in 2020, so I figured that I was most likely in for something cursed, and I sure did get that. Well, that's the end of the video. Sorry if my schedule's been really all over the place as of recently. I've just been trying to get a hold of like multiple things in life, and it's been really hard as of recently, but still, thank you for all your patience. I promise that I'll try to, manage this better. With all that said and done, have a good day, and thank you for watching. Goodbye!
Just let me skip but one episode and maybe we can see what else is on. But no, I don't really care. No, I don't really care. It's over, but yeah, the things we do, what you thought